Your power lives in the present, so why does your mind keep running to the past? Emily Rosen's hands trembled as she poured coffee at 5:47 a.m. She hadn't slept. Again. Outside the small kitchen window of their Portland apartment, the city was still dark. Inside, her mind was a war zone, replaying conversations from 2 years ago, dissecting every decision, every mistake, every moment she should have left sooner. Nobody else would want a broken mother. Caleb's voice echoed in her skull, as fresh as if he'd said it yesterday instead of 24 months ago. She gripped the counter, breathed, counted to 10 like the therapist taught her. It didn't help. The apartment was safe. The locks were new. Caleb was legally required to stay away except for scheduled visits with Amelia. But safety didn't live in locks. It lived in the nervous system, and hers was still set to danger. Every footstep in the hallway made her heart race. Every knock on the door made her jump. Every phone notification sent a shot of cortisol through her veins. Emily worked part-time at a bakery called Rise. Ironic, she thought, for someone who couldn't seem to rise above her past. She paid rent on time. She kept Amelia fed, clothed, loved. On paper, she was succeeding. But emotionally, she was drowning in yesterday. "Mommy?" Emily spun around. Amelia stood in the doorway, blonde curls wild, clutching her stuffed bunny named Mr. Hopscotch. Her daughter's eyes were clear, present, uncomplicated by the weight Emily carried. "Hey, baby, you're up early. I heard you walking. Are you sad again?" The question pierced Emily's chest. She forced a smile. "No, sweetie. Mommy's fine. Go back to bed." But Amelia didn't move. She tilted her head, studying her mother the way children do, seeing everything adults try to hide. "You look far away," Amelia said softly. Emily's throat tightened. Far away. That's exactly what she was. Miles and years away from this kitchen, this morning, this moment. "I'm right here," Emily lied. Amelia didn't argue. She just padded back to her room, leaving Emily alone with her ghosts. 3 days later, Amelia came home from kindergarten with a drawing. "Look, Mommy, I made us!" In the picture, 2 stick figures stood in a park. One was small, with a huge yellow sun smile. The other was tall, with a frown and scribbles around her head. "What are these?" Emily pointed to the scribbles. "Your worry clouds," Amelia said matter-of-factly. "Miss Rachel says worry clouds make people forget to see the flowers." Emily stared at the drawing. Her daughter had captured her perfectly. "Do you like it?" Amelia asked. "I love it, baby." "Can we go to the park today? For real? Like in the picture?" Emily's mind immediately flooded with reasons why not. She needed to check work emails, organize bills, meal prep for the week, research lawyers in case Caleb tried something. "Mommy, can we?" "Maybe tomorrow, sweet." "You always say tomorrow." Amelia's voice cracked with frustration. "But tomorrow never comes, because then it's today, and you say tomorrow again." The truth of it stung. Emily knelt down. "You're right. I'm sorry. How about this weekend?" Amelia's shoulders slumped. "Okay." But as her daughter walked away, Emily heard her whisper to Mr. Hopscotch, "She's stuck in the yesterday place again." The words landed like a punch. Stuck in the yesterday place. That night, Emily lay awake, staring at the ceiling, her daughter's words circling in her mind. She thought about the therapist who kept saying, "Trauma lives in the body because we haven't finished processing it." She thought about the meditation app she'd downloaded and never used. She thought about the self-help books stacked on her nightstand, all promising freedom she couldn't seem to reach. What she didn't think about was the small, clear voice of her 6-year-old daughter, who might hold the key to everything. The call came on a Tuesday. Caleb's name flashed on Emily's phone screen, and her entire body went rigid. She almost didn't answer, almost let it go to voicemail. But something, duty, fear, obligation, made her swipe. "What do you want?" "I want more time with Amelia." His voice was calm, controlled, the kind of calm that used to precede explosions. "The custody agreement is unfair. I'm her father." Emily's heart hammered. The agreement is what the court decided. "Courts make mistakes. I have a lawyer now. A good one." The threat hung in the air. "You can't?" "I can. And I will. Unless you want to talk about this like adults." The phone went dead. Emily stood frozen in her kitchen, phone still pressed to her ear, the dial tone humming. Her vision blurred. Her breathing came in short gasps. The panic attack hit like a tsunami. She gripped the counter, trying to ground herself. 5 things you can see. 4 things you can touch. But the grounding techniques failed. She was back in their old apartment, back in the arguments, back in the moments she'd lost herself, trying to keep peace with a man who fed on chaos. "Mommy?" Amelia appeared in the doorway, her face worried. I'm fine, baby. Just give Mommy a minute." But Amelia didn't leave. Instead, she walked over and took Emily's hand. Her small palm was warm, real, steady. "Breathe with me," Amelia said. "In through your nose, out through your mouth, like we do when Mr. Hopscotch gets scared." Emily wanted to laugh, her daughter comforting her with a technique she'd taught her. But instead, she followed Amelia's lead. In, out, in, out. Slowly, the room came back into focus. "Better?" Amelia asked. Emily nodded, tears streaming. "Mommy, when you go to the scary place, you forget I'm here." "I know, baby. I'm sorry." "It's okay. But can you try to stay? Today is nice. Yesterday already happened." Emily pulled Amelia into a hug, holding her daughter like an anchor to the present. That night, Emily couldn't sleep. She paced her apartment, mind racing through worst-case scenarios. Caleb taking Amelia, the courts believing him, losing everything she'd fought to protect. At 3 a.m., she stood at Amelia's door, watching her daughter sleep. Amelia's face was peaceful, relaxed, free. "How?" Emily thought. "How are you so okay when I'm falling apart?" The answer was simple, though Emily couldn't see it yet. Amelia lived where Emily had forgotten how to go. Here, now, today. Saturday morning arrived with rare Portland sunshine. Amelia burst into Emily's room. "Park day! You promised! No tomorrows!" Emily's first instinct was to say she was too tired, too anxious after the call from Caleb. But something in Amelia's hopeful face stopped her. "Okay," Emily heard herself say. "Park day." Amelia's squeal of joy was so pure it almost hurt to hear. They walked to Laurelhurst Park, Amelia skipping ahead, Emily trailing behind with her phone in her pocket, checking it every 30 seconds for emails, texts, any updates about Caleb's threat. "Mommy, look, a duck!" Emily glanced up for half a second. "Nice, baby." "Mommy, smell this flower." "Uh-huh." "Mommy, watch me spin." "Be careful." Amelia stopped spinning. She walked back to Emily and took both of her mother's hands. "Mommy, you're not here." "I am here. I'm right next to you." "No." Amelia's voice was gentle but firm. "Your body is here, but you are in the worry cloud." Emily opened her mouth to argue, then closed it. Because Amelia was right. "I'm sorry, baby. Mommy has a lot on her mind." "I know. But can you put your mind here? With me? Just for today?" The simplicity of the request broke something in Emily. She looked at her daughter, really looked, and saw a wisdom that didn't match her 6 years. "Okay," Emily whispered. "Teach me how." Amelia's face lit up. "Okay, first, we have to notice things. Like, what do you hear right now?" Emily closed her eyes. "I hear birds and wind and you." "Good! Now touch the tree bark. How does it feel?" Emily placed her palm against an old oak. Rough, solid, warm from the sun. "See?" Amelia beamed. "That's today. Yesterday doesn't have tree bark. Tomorrow doesn't have duck sounds. Only today has everything." They spent the next hour in what Amelia called noticing time. They watched ants carry crumbs. They felt different textures of leaves. They listened to the sound of their own breathing. And slowly, so slowly, Emily felt something loosen in her chest. At one point, Amelia lay in the grass and said, "Mommy, lie down with me. Look at the clouds." Emily hesitated. Her jeans would get dirty. People might see. She had so much to do. "Please." Amelia's hand reached for hers. Emily lay down. Above them, clouds drifted in infinite slow motion. Amelia narrated their shapes. "That's a dragon. That's an ice cream cone. That's Mr. Hopscotch flying." Emily felt the earth beneath her back, felt the sun on her face, felt her daughter's hand in hers. And for just a moment, a brief, radical moment, there was no past to escape, no future to fear. There was only this. "Mommy, do you feel it?" Amelia whispered. "Feel what?" "The now. It's like warm bread." Emily's eyes filled with tears, because she did feel it. And it was like warm bread, comforting, simple enough. But then her phone buzzed. The spell broke. Emily sat up, heart racing, grabbed her phone. It was just a spam email. When she looked back at Amelia, her daughter's expression had dimmed. "You went away again," Amelia said quietly. "I'm sorry. It's okay." But Amelia's voice carried a sadness that didn't belong in a 6-year-old. "Yesterday is very loud for grown-ups." They walked home in silence. That night, Emily sat at the kitchen table staring at Amelia's drawing, the one with the worry clouds. She thought about the park, about the moment she'd felt present, about how quickly she'd abandoned it. She thought about her daughter's words. "Yesterday is very loud for grown-ups." And she realized Amelia wasn't just a child who needed her. Amelia was a teacher she wasn't listening to. The crisis came 2 weeks later. Caleb showed up unannounced. Legally, he wasn't supposed to, but laws don't stop controlling men. He stood at Emily's door demanding to see Amelia, his lawyer's letter clutched in his hand like a weapon. "You can't keep me from my daughter," he said, voice rising. Emily's hand shook as she gripped the doorframe. "You have a scheduled visit next week." "I'm not waiting. Let me see her. Now." Behind Emily, Amelia appeared in the hallway. "Daddy?" Caleb pushed past Emily. "Hey, sweetheart. Daddy missed you." Emily's body went into full panic mode, chest tight, vision tunneling, thoughts spiraling. This was her nightmare. Him in her space. Him near Amelia. Him with power again. But then something unexpected happened. Amelia didn't run to her father. She stood very still and said, "Daddy, you're being too loud. You're scaring Mommy." Caleb laughed. That condescending laugh Emily remembered too well. "Mommy's fine, honey. Mommy's just being dramatic." "No," Amelia said firmly. "She's not. Her worry clouds are back, and you made them." The air in the room shifted. Caleb crouched down, forcing gentleness. "Sweetheart, I'm your father. I love you. I just want to spend time with. Then why do you make people feel small? Amelia's voice was clear, unafraid. Miss Rachel says love makes people feel big. But you make Mommy feel small. I don't like it. Caleb stood, his mask slipping. Emily, what have you been telling her? Nothing, Emily's voice cracked. I don't talk about. Mommy doesn't need to tell me, Amelia interrupted. I have eyes, and today I see you being mean. The word today landed like a thunderclap in Emily's mind. Today, not the past, not what Caleb used to do or might do. Today, this moment, this choice. Emily stepped forward, her voice steadier than it had been in years. You need to leave. Now. Or what? Or I call the police for violating the custody agreement. She pulled out her phone, hand surprisingly steady. Caleb looked at Emily, really looked, and saw something that hadn't been there before. Strength, clarity, presence. He took a step back. This isn't over. Yes, Emily said. It is. You don't get to live in my today anymore. The words surprised her as much as they surprised him. Caleb left, slamming the door. Emily collapsed to her knees, adrenaline crashing. Amelia wrapped her small arms around her mother's neck. You did it, Mommy. You stayed. I did? You didn't go to yesterday or tomorrow. You stayed right here. With me. Emily pulled back, looking at her daughter through tears. How are you so wise? Amelia shrugged. I'm not wise. I just know that yesterday is gone and tomorrow isn't real. So today is all we get. And today, you were brave. That night, Emily couldn't sleep. But for a different reason. She kept replaying the confrontation, but instead of shame or fear, she felt something new. Clarity. She'd been so consumed by yesterday's trauma that she'd been living as if the abuse was still happening. Every moment with Caleb had been relived, reprocessed, refeared. But today, in the actual, real, now moment, she'd stood her ground because Amelia had shown her how. Emily walked to her daughter's room and sat on the edge of the bed. In the dim nightlight glow, she watched Amelia sleep, so peaceful, so unburdened. How do you do it? Emily whispered. How do you live so free? As if sensing her mother, Amelia's eyes fluttered open. Mommy? I'm here, baby. Go back to sleep. But Amelia sat up, rubbing her eyes. Are you okay? I think so. I'm just trying to understand something. What? Emily took a breath. You're always here. Present. How do you do that? How do you not worry about what happened yesterday? Or what might happen tomorrow? Amelia thought for a moment, her face serious. Because yesterday already happened. I can't change it. And tomorrow isn't here yet. So I just love today. But what if today is scary? Then I feel scared today. But I don't feel scared about yesterday's scary or tomorrow's scary. Just today's scary. And today's scary is smaller. The simplicity of it shattered something in Emily. She'd been carrying not just today's fear, but every yesterday's fear, plus every tomorrow's fear. No wonder she was drowning. Mommy, you know what Mr. Hopscotch taught me? Amelia held up her stuffed bunny. What? When you're scared, you hug what's real, not what you think about. What's real? She squeezed the bunny tight. Mr. Hopscotch is real. You're real. This bed is real. The scary thoughts? They're just thoughts. Emily felt tears stream down her face. When did you get so smart? I'm not smart. I just know what's today and what's not today. Amelia leaned her head on Emily's shoulder. And today, we're together. That's all I need to know. Emily wrapped her arms around her daughter, and for the first time in 2 years, she wasn't somewhere else in her mind. She was here. Completely, totally, terrifyingly here. And here wasn't as scary as she'd thought. The next morning was Sunday. Emily woke early, but instead of immediately grabbing her phone or spiraling into worry, she did something radical. She just lay there. She felt the softness of the pillow beneath her head. She heard birds outside the window. She noticed the early light painting the walls gold. She was present, and it felt like coming home to a place she'd forgotten existed. When Amelia woke up, Emily was waiting with a proposal. Want to have a today-only day? What's that? A day where we only do things that are happening now. No checking phones, no planning tomorrow, no thinking about yesterday, just today. Amelia's eyes went wide. Can we do that? Let's try. They made pancakes together, and Emily didn't worry about the mess. They walked to the park, and Emily didn't check her email once. They lay in the grass and watched clouds, and Emily didn't think about Caleb's threats. At one point, Amelia rolled over and asked, "Mommy, where are you right now?" Emily looked at her daughter and smiled. A real, deep, unguarded smile. "I'm right here, with you, exactly where I want to be." "Your worry clouds are gone." "Not gone," Emily said honestly, "but smaller. Because I'm not adding yesterday's clouds and tomorrow's clouds to today's clouds." Amelia nodded sagely. "That's smart." As the sun began to set, they sat on a park bench, Amelia's head on Emily's lap. The sky turned pink and gold, and Emily felt something she hadn't felt in years. Peace. Not the kind of peace that comes from solving all your problems. The kind that comes from finally showing up to your own life. "Mommy?" Amelia's voice was sleepy. "Yeah, baby?" "I'm really happy you came back." "Back from where?" "From the yesterday place. I like you better when you're here." Emily stroked her daughter's hair, tears in her eyes. "Me too, sweetheart. Me too." They walked home as streetlights flickered on, hand in hand, step by step. Two people who'd found their way to the only moment that ever really exists. Later that night, after Amelia was asleep, Emily sat at the kitchen table with a notebook. She wrote 3 words at the top. "Now is home." Underneath, she wrote, "I cannot change yesterday. I cannot control tomorrow. I can only love today." She looked at the words for a long time, then taped the paper to the refrigerator where she'd see it every morning. It wasn't a magic solution. The trauma wouldn't vanish overnight. Caleb would still be a source of stress. Life would still throw challenges. But Emily had learned something profound from the smallest teacher in her life. The past is a place you visit, not where you live. Tomorrow is a possibility, not a prison. Today, this moment, this breath, this heartbeat, is the only home you'll ever need. And in that home, finally, Emily was free. Your daughter is not your responsibility to save. She is your teacher to follow home. This story reminds us that sometimes our greatest teachers don't have decades of experience. They have clarity we've forgotten. Emily's daughter didn't teach her something new. She taught her something ancient, that yesterday is gone, tomorrow hasn't arrived, and today is the only home we'll ever truly have. So I'll leave you with this. What past are you still letting steal your present? What would change if you chose, right now, to come home to today? If this story moved something in you, drop the word "now" in the comments. Let me know what city you're watching from. You might inspire someone on their journey. Subscribe and hit the bell, because every week I share stories that can shift how you see yourself and your struggles. Click the card for another powerful transformation story. And remember, your freedom might be just one present moment away.